Hi, welcome to Astro Journey UK. In today's video, I've got a new thing to show you. Basically, I was a bit crazy, went out and bought myself a Christmas present from Rother Valley Optics in the UK, and it comes in a box about this big, and also another box about this big from ZWO. So I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing, and we'll also likely do a first test on Monday in a few days time, because it's going to be clear, which breaks the whole astrophotography thing of you buy something new and it's cloudy, although at the moment it's cloudy. But yeah, Monday's looking clear, so that will be good. So if you want to see what I've got, then keep watching. So who doesn't like an unboxing video where you get to see what somebody else has bought, which is exciting. And yeah, so just get this box open. It's going to be very likely a box in a box. Try not to slice my hand whilst using this knife. Go. Yep, definitely a box in a box. Easier said than done getting into here. Should have opened the other one first just to make it a bit more exciting, but yep, it's the ZWO AM5 mount, so a harmonic mount, super light. It's 5.5 kilograms, so you don't break your back just literally lifting up the box. So that's it. Just get the tripod out now. This is the carbon fiber tripod that comes with it. So there we go, there's the carbon fiber tripod. Again, it being made out of carbon fiber, it's going to be pretty light. Looks like one of these little bag things that you wrap around the tripod legs that you can put your things in, whether that's, I don't know what I'll end up putting in there. Certainly not going to be eyepieces anyway. A leg brace there. And some random looking bolts, which I shall see what they are in future. So you've got a couple of Allen keys in there, which is helpful. They give you Allen keys, but spoiler alert, they don't give you a power supply for the mount, which is a bit of a pain. But that's life. Yeah, just a bolt that's going to go through the mount, I'm assuming, into the AM5 mount. Right, let's get on to unboxing the mount. So I've already undone the sellotape because that's not exciting, is it? Open up the box. Inside the box we have an instruction booklet, which tells me that I've bought a ZWO AM5, and it's got lots of stuff in Chinese. At least there's some pictures, because that's about my level anyway. And then there's so there's a box in a box, which is then wrapped in plastic, and then inside that there's a case. Quite a nice case, and to be fair, one of the reasons why I got this was because I wanted a nice lightweight portable mount that is going to replace the Skywatcher Star Adventurer mount. I want the ability to be able to do go-to rather than doing it manually, because I'm a bit lazy and it's just such a pain, to be fair. But also what I love about this is the fact it does actually come in a really nice case. Open up the case, and then you've got the mount inside, again wrapped in plastic. Just take that out. You can say that they can pick up a mount and hold a mount with one hand that can hold up to 20 kilos. Yeah, not many people. So yep, in the box you've obviously got the mount itself, which looks really, really nice. You've also got a hand controller, the cable for the hand controller, which goes in the box itself. This bit, to be fair, is really nice. I do like the case. There's a USB cable to connect the mount to my ASI Air. A couple of Allen keys in the case as well, which is really nice. Nice feature. And then also you've got a space here at the top for the counterweight bar as well. Counterweight bar I don't have, but yep, for what I need it for, I'm not going to need that for a while anyway, so that's all good. Alright, next things next is get this mounted onto the tripod legs, and then we'll walk through it. So I found the instructions, they do fold out into some English instructions, which is good. Interestingly, the first thing the second step after folding the tripod out is actually installing the head plate. And I was like, well, where's the head plate? I could see this, but obviously it wouldn't come out. But actually you just need to unscrew this quick release lock here, and then the head plate pops out. There needs to be a instruction 1A, remove head plate from tripod. But anyway, got that. Now I need to put the head plate onto the base of the mount here, and we're just going to do that now. So I was just hunting for the Allen bolts that I put the head plate onto the mount with. They're actually in the AM5 case underneath the cable, so that might help you quickly if you're trying to find those. And then just thread them through the mount plate onto the mount itself. So the next step, now you've got the mounting plate in the mount, is just to drop the mount into the tripod. Also, when installing the mount into the tripod, don't forget this this lock here, so you can just turn that, lock it, and then the mount plate will be secure enough until you've got the bolt pushed through and the leg spreader in place, and then you know that everything is all locked away nicely and where it needs to be. We need to take the bolt and thread that through underneath here, just like that. And then once you've got that in place, and then lift the spreader, or the leg spreader, into place there. And then I'm going to run out of hands, and then I need to take this bolt here, not bolt, this knob, effectively put that onto the thread, tighten it up, and then everything's nice and secure. There you go, so you can see it's all in place. The bolt going all the way through into the mount, leg spreader there, and then the extra knob here to push that up against the mount and to keep it all secure and in place. And that's all nice, easy, done and dusted. And then, yep, you can just pick it up because it's only about 5.5 kilos. Right, now we need to just run through the controls in terms of the altitude and azimuth adjustments and things like that, and some other bits and pieces in terms of connectors for the mount itself. So in terms of like leg adjustment, you've just got these quick release knobs here that you turn, just to undo it and then move the leg up and down. There's not that much distance to play with, but I don't think that's really a problem. At least lower to the ground, the better, because you will suffer the effects of wind less. So right at the base here, you can see the foot itself. But actually, what I noticed is these come off, and you've got some little spikes that you can put into the bottom of the tripod as well. So here you can see on the mount a number of inputs, and there's a little status LED there. So you've got 12 volts, 5 amp input for powering the mount. You've got the hand controller, auto guider, and also a USB controller, which I think you can either use the hand controller goes here, or you can connect the ASI Air device into here, or you would connect your PC an ASCOM driver based guiding solution into here as well. There's a little status LED, basically a red and a green indicator as to whether you're using it in equatorial mount sort of orientation or the alt-azimuth orientation. Supports both. And up on the side here you can see another power controller. Basically, it's just moved around a bit. So you've got sort of 12 volts, 3 amps, and that's actually coming out to enable you to power. There's a nice dovetail mount here that you can then put your ASI Air device onto the mount itself and power it directly from there, which is quite nice. Just in case you didn't know, this is where the telescope goes, and they've got a nice little diagram there that shows that's where the telescope goes. You've obviously got a couple of orientations or different plate types here, which is quite nice, and the tightening knobs for this are actually nice and smooth, as you would expect for something for this particular price point. You've got 2 bubble levels here as well, and then you've got the azimuth adjustments there, and you've got the altitude adjustment here as well. One thing that's interesting with the altitude and the azimuth adjustment is you've actually got some sort of locking aspect here as well. So you've got one here for the altitude. You kind of undo that, undo the one the other side, and then you can actually then change the altitude by turning the bolt, and you can see that it's lifting up. And then once you're happy with where it is, you then lock it in place, which is quite nice. And then you've got the same for the azimuth as well. You've got a little lock here, and you've got one the other side as well. And that's basically the adjustment side of things. What we're going to do now is put a scope on and power everything up, and you can see it working. Just going through getting this set up, and you can see that that's bringing the mount up. Although interestingly, it's not going to focus. Apart from whether that bolt is actually acting as the marker, there's no line or anything that sort of indicates where you actually are. I think I'm about 52 latitude, but yep, I guess that's about 52. It's a bit strange I didn't put a little arrow there just to show you where you were, but at the end of the day I guess it's just a crude adjustment until you do polar alignment. So very quickly, a bit about the hand control, which I can't imagine I'm going to be using. You've got fast and slow mode, which you enable and disable by pushing down this little thumb controller. So it's currently turned on. You hold it down, the light will go out, and then it's in slow tracking. Hold it down again and the light should come on, and that speeds up the tracking movements again. When you actually want it to track, you can see there's a T button there. Turn that on and that starts the mounts sort of just tracking the night sky. And also when you want to put the mount back to home, you can actually just hold this cancel button, which actually looks like a it's really difficult to see here. It looks like a return circle icon. You hold that down and then the mount will automatically go back to the home position, which is really nice. Again, super quiet, does everything it needs to do. Hopefully, I'll find out in a couple of nights. So you can see here I've got a hand controller plugged into that connector at the bottom there, and then the USB is connected up to the ASI in the back here, into the ASI to be able to control the mount all through the ASI device as normal. And basically it's a lot of red and black loveliness. So let's go on to the ASI Air device now. We'll just go into the device. We need to select the mount now. It's no longer EQ mod. I think at the top here you've got ZWO AM5. Interestingly, they didn't put it at the bottom of the list, they put it at the top, but that's their prerogative. They can be at the top if they want to. Everything else is as before. So I've got my Red Cat telescope, the ASI Air Pro, and guide scope and all of that sort of thing on there, which I'll show you as well. So clicking onto the mount settings itself, you can see it's actually given like a little graphical indication of that's what it is. One thing I'm curious about is how you actually set up the home position. I'm just going to use the controller to move it out of home. And see if I can then just go to home position and see if it just automatically does it. So it seems to know exactly where it needs to be in terms of what's down, so it kind of auto does it for you, which is nice. No more getting a spirit level out with the mount to make sure it's properly home before turning the mount on. I really like that feature. I think that's probably it really. I mean, I'll play about with this more when it's actually dark, and also when it's not cloudy, because new equipment means cloud. But then I can then actually use this to move to certain parts of the night sky and just test out the guiding and things like that as well.